As you can see, guys, I am practicing some social isolation with my tiger here. And in this video, we are talking about the top 10 free-to-play characters in all of Marvel Strike Force for April of 2020. If you guys are ready for it, you know what to do. Let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
What is up, Valley Maniacs? ValleyFlyin here. I am back. Welcome to the channel. Yes, it is that time again. The top 10 free-to-play characters, Marvel Strike Force, April 2020. Now, we do this list every single month, guys. And if this is your first time watching, let me explain the rules here, because this list is highly subjective, and you may have a totally different top 10 list based on what you are doing in the game. Now, like I said, it is highly subjective, so not only do these characters have to be farmable, I'm going to talk about what makes them eligible or not for this list, because not every single character is eligible for this list. They also have to be a great character, so have a good kit, be very valuable in the game. But here is where it becomes highly subjective, because it is based on my personal usage of these characters over the past month. So there will be a lot of characters that are really good, but just I'm not using them a lot over the past month, or I have not used them a lot over the past month. So they're going to be rated a little lower for me, maybe not even make the list, whereas they may be rated very highly for you. So let me know your picks down below, guys. But let's go into Photoshop and see which characters are not eligible for this list. All right, so here are the characters that are not eligible for this list. And you can make the argument, yes, I know you can get a lot of these characters without spending one dime in this game, but where I drew the line and where I've drawn the line for the past few months is if they have a node, they are eligible for this list. If they're available in a store, even if it's a very rare store like the War Store, yes, they are eligible for this list. And then the two fringe cases of Wolverine and Hulk, because you can get these shards just through playing, I decided to make them eligible. But are they good enough to be on this list? Well, let's clear this list off, the not eligible, and let's see who recently became farmable. Boom. These characters right here. Yes, we recently got the Villains Chapter 7 campaign added to the game. Hella, Rescue both have nodes on there, so they are eligible for the list this month. Sif was recently added very controversially to the War Store. She is eligible because that is a store, and technically Strife is going to be available tomorrow, because this video is getting put out on the 31st of March instead of April. So technically he's not in a game yet, but because he's coming out tomorrow for the Blitz store, he is eligible for this list for this month, because yes, technically the month has not started yet. So all four of these characters are eligible this month for the list. Which one or ones are gonna make it, guys? Let's get to the countdown.
Number 10.
Yeah, coming in at number 10 is Venom. Yes. Now, he was on this list previously. I like his kit, very strong kit, but fell off this list based on the usage. I just wasn't really using that Spider-Verse team a lot. I had him on a Brotherhood team and wasn't one of the main characters there that was really carrying this team. Well, now that I built up Symbiote Spider-Man, I'm getting a lot more usage out of this team. And when I think about the most valuable free-to-play characters, there's two. It was between Venom and Carnage, and I think Venom is slightly better as a standalone character, although you can make the argument that Carnage is a little better on that Spider-Verse team. Now, I'm using this team a lot in War Offense. They're able to do some pretty good punch-ups, and they can counter some of these meta teams in the game right now. They're very valuable in Blitz, and once in a while, I am using that team in the Greek raids. Let's go take a look at his kit though. And as you can see, a lot of good things in his kit. He has this move called Corruption, where he is spreading all of the negative effects from the primary target to the adjacent targets. This is a great move. Violate with that ability block. He has a clearing effect where he can clear these positive effects and flip them into negative effects, and he gains health back. So he is self-sustaining, very valuable member of that team. I do like Carnage's passive a little more, but just for this list, I think Venom needed a spot. And if you want to farm Venom, guys, he's available on Nexus 6-9.
Number 9.
It is Groot coming in at number 9, guys, and one of my favorite characters in the game, one of my favorite utility characters. Not really a great healer, not really a great protector, but he does so much for the team. One of the best support characters in the game, in my opinion, and I'm using him a lot. I was using him a lot more, which is why he's kind of fallen down the list, but I am still using him a lot. He's a staple of my war offense. Now that BKT is a very viable punch down counter to that scary Red Skull Hydra team, so he's getting a lot of use on war offense. Didn't really have a place for him on offense before, was using him on defense, but now he is back. He is back to offense, and I like these war offense teams. Obviously, the BKT or Guardians, whatever you want to use this team in, or whatever team you have him in, very good in blitz, and I am using him a lot in these Greek raids as well. Let's go take a look at his kit, guys. And yeah, not really a wasted move on this kit. He has a big damaging attack on his basic. He can apply death proof and defense up on his special. He clears away negative effects, little bit of healing on his ultimate, and then his passive is very good as well. If he dies, defense up to all allies, more bonuses if they're Guardian allies, and he can revive. So a lot of good things. If he's attacked, he's also going to apply slow to the attacker for a turn as well. So very good character, very good utility character, one of my favorite utility characters in the game. And if you want to farm him, he is available on Nexus 29.
Number 8.
And coming in at number 8 is Raccoon, the best friend of Groot. And for a while now, I was rating Groot a lot higher than Rocket, or not a lot higher, but higher than Rocket for a while because of Groot's utility. But now that I'm seeing how I am using Rocket in that BKT team, primarily to counter that Hydra war team, yeah, that AoE of Rockets is really valuable to that counter. Plus, I'm using him all the time in the Greek raids, and obviously Guardians, BKT, whatever version of that team you want to run, very good in blitz. Let's go take a look at his kit. Yes, and the big thing for his kit right here is this move right here, maximum damage, especially if you sandwich him between Star-Lord and Thanos, giving him energy. And this AoE attack can go over and over again, depending on the enemy you're facing. Using him a lot in these Greek raids, pretty much every day with the raids we have right now, guys. This is a great move with some great synergy for Groot. With his special, he's attacking the primary target, and he's getting assists from Groot, and he's applying taunt to Groot. So that is making Groot that tank that we talked about a little while ago. So very good. He has some splash damage on his basic as well, and tech allies, he's giving them some extra damage. So very strong character, very solid kit. And I've noticed that I'm using him a lot more, so he climbs up a little bit above Groot in the rankings though. So he is available in the raid store, one of these stores that has a rotation of characters, so you might not see him there all the time, but trust me, he is in there, and that is where you can farm him, guys.
Number 7.
And getting a slight boost this month, surpassing Rocket and Groot, is Pyro, one of the more valuable farmable members of that new and improved Brotherhood team, guys. Yes, I like his kit a lot, and he is the damage dealer for that team. And he's also allowing these punch-ups against that scary Fury, Coulson, Shield War defense team. Allows that Brotherhood with that to do that punch-up. Of course, Toad and Blob have a lot to do with that, but they're not farmable, so they're not eligible for this list. So Pyro gets the nod this time. In addition to being a very good war offense team, obviously they're going to be a good blitz team, and certain nodes of that Greek raids, I am using Pyro along with the rest of his team, so they're getting some usage from me. Let's go take a look at his kit. All right, and taking a look at his kit, very good. 2 of his moves were worthy of my T4 investment way back in the day, and still proving very valuable in today's game. The first is his special, Pyrotechnics. He is attacking the primary and adjacent targets for damage. He's applying bleed for 2 turns, and he's clearing all of the positive effects from each of those targets if Magneto is an ally, which he should be on that new and improved Brotherhood team. His ultimate also attacks the primary and adjacent targets, but he's applying Disrupted to those targets for 2 turns, and you're extending the bleeds if Magneto is an ally. Again, he should be an ally. His passive is applying some heal blocks when the enemies go below 50%. Again, Magneto needs to be an ally for that to happen, but when he's attacked, he's filling his speed bar, and he's gaining some extra focus, which he needs for these Disrupted and these bleeds. So very good kit. And yeah, not the most farmable though. He's probably in one of the more harder places to farm, and that is the war store. But guys, if you're looking to build that new and improved Brotherhood team, he's going to be a key member. So don't sleep on Pyro, and maybe conserve your credits so they can still farm Sif, Graviton, and Pyro as well.
Number 6.
Oh, and here we go. It is Falcon coming in at number 6. At one point, he was my favorite character in the game because he was used in every single game mode. Not using him as much. I still use him in that power armor team for war offense. I use him on a power armor team for blitz, and he is one of my backup rotation characters for Ultimate 7. Not a character that I use every single day, and of course he is not on my arena team anymore, but very good character, and he has a very solid kit. Let's go take a look at it. All right, and in my opinion, what makes Falcon so valuable is this move right here, Red Wing, his special. You're gonna change the speed of himself and all of your allies by 30% plus, or 30% if you put that T4 in, but you're also gonna get additional 10% for each enemy that has a positive effect. So yes, it is possible to max out your speed bar over that 100% and get multiple turns if the situations are right. He has a good AoE attack on his ultimate. He has some nice things for his passive. Doesn't really affect the rest of the team, but makes him a lot better, and he is a pretty good basic as well, with some additional attacks that he can do if you have positive effects on that. So Falcon, very good character. He is still one of their characters in the game. I'm just not using him as much as I previously was, which is why he's kind of fallen down over the past months. And if you want to get Falcon, he is available on Nexus 7-9.
Number 5.
Oh, and leading off the top 5 is my boy Colossus, one of the best protectors in this game, especially when you pair him with Phoenix. Now, because of that, he is a part of that very valuable X-Men team, which is arguably one of the top 3 teams in the game right now. Very valuable for war offense. You can get some huge punch-ups with that X-Men team. Obviously, in Blitz does very well. That X-Men team capable of fully autoing on 8.3 in Blitz. I use him once in a while in these Greek raids on certain nodes where mutants are allowed, and I don't use him personally in arena, but I'm seeing him on arena defense a lot. So he is viable in every single game mode. Let's take a look at his kit and see what makes him so valuable. All right, and here is Colossus' kit. Very solid kit. As you can see, this passive is a wall of text, and most of that is benefiting himself and Phoenix and giving him a lot of synergy with that whole team. For his opening move, you have 2 main options right here. The first is a special altruism. You're going to gain taunt, you're going to gain counters, you're going to gain deflect for himself and his X-Men allies, so giving them a little more survivability. And if Phoenix is an ally, he's going to gain taunt. Once in a while, this is the proper move. It does depend on the situation, but more often than not, I'm opening with his ultimate, Enduring Protection. He's increasing the duration of positive effects by 3 up to maximum 5. He's gaining death proof, he's gaining charge, and what charge does is allows him to counterattack when you're attacking him, which is good for a tank. You want your tank to counterattack. That is a very valuable move, and he is not a very easy farm. He's more of a late game farm. So he is available on Heroes 7-9, but once you have access to that stage, especially if you have Phoenix, I would go very hard on farming this character because he is a tank. You want to get a lot of stars on this character.
Number 4.
Woo, big jump for Graviton this month. This was a character that I have always liked, always had a very solid kit. What really held me back from really placing me on top last month was just I was not really using that AIM team all that much, but I am using them a lot more, especially that Aimtron version, allowing some pretty big punch-ups in war. So he gets a big boost for me because he is a very valuable member of that team, and he has a solid kit, always had a solid kit, but his farmability just makes me use him a lot more. Now, obviously, I am that Aimtron very good on war offense, but AIM, very good team on Blitz as well. And yes, they are capable of autoing on 8.3. And I'm also using that AIM team in the Greek raids as well. So let's go take a look at his kit, see why he is so valuable. So like I said, this kit is very solid. I normally open with this ultimate because it is a turn 1 stun. That is kind of rare in this game, and you can stun an enemy, and if they have a lot of negative effects, you're going to get 100% additional damage per negative effect. So this could be a very hard-hitting big move, especially if you have the gold stars and those red stars on him. Sometimes I will open with this special where he's going to attack primary and adjacent targets, and applying slow, maximum of 2 turns to primary to 5 primary and adjacent targets. So he's going to apply bleeds as well if Scientist Supreme is an ally, and I don't really use Graviton without Scientist Supreme, so he is applying the bleeds. This basic of his can be very, very big as well. 250% damage plus a bonus attack for 100% of damage per negative effect on the target. This could be the hardest hitting basic in the game, depending on how many debuffs that enemy has. And his passive also very solid. I just put the T4 in this. This is very, very big because when an enemy drops below 50% health, you're going to increase the duration of their negative effects by +1 up to a maximum of 5. So if you're thinking about many stacks of bleeds, this could be some huge damage with just this passive. His T4, what it does is give the aim minions a little more damage. So I thought that was valuable enough to put that T4 in, considering how often I am using that team, and they're going to get some bonuses in war because of his passive. So very, very good character, but he is not easy to farm. Unfortunately, he is in one of the hardest places to farm characters, and that is the war stores. So again, you're going to have to choose between Pyro, Graviton, Sif, maybe even Carnage. So yeah, a lot of good characters in there and not a lot of resources. So you're gonna have to choose which one. But Graviton, if you are running that aim team a lot, I think it is a very, very good investment of your resources.
Number 3.
And here we go. Number 3 is Vision, one of the best characters in the game. Soon to be without a team though, when Ironheart comes into the game and is gonna take his spot on that power armor team. But his kit is so solid, I'm not sure how much he's going to drop off because I'm still going to be using him a lot. Well, right now, on one of the top war offense teams in that power armor team, not sure what's going to happen once Ironheart comes to the game. Also, on one of the most solid blitz teams in the game in that power armor team. Again, capable of winning on auto at 8.3. But I'm using this guy every single day in the Ultimate 7 on one node in particular, with the Ultron bots and that War Machine and Iron Man. I think he is a key to doing that node very safely without a lot of deaths with his ability block and his ultimate. And speaking of that, let's go take a look at his kit. So Vision has had one of the most solid kits in the game for a while. I like opening with Dive Bomb because you are attacking the primary and adjacent targets and applying ability block, which is very huge on turn 1 to the primary target and an additional target. His ultimate Solar Beam also very solid. It's an AoE attack, 250% damage. The main thing here though is clearing 2 positive effects on each target. Not really using him with Scarlet Witch right now, but would like to see some synergy with that team in the future. Maybe having an additional character be able to replace Scarlet Witch on that supernatural team. He has a strong basic as well. It is a chain attack and it applies bleeds against tech enemies. And he is a dodger. Yes, like Spider-Man, he has the ability to dodge 20% extra dodge chance. He's gaining defense up, and he is also gaining defense up for tech allies. So that is one possible scenario, moving him to possibly a tech team or taking use of that Avengers tag and moving him to an Avengers team. Not sure we're going to use him once Ironheart comes out, but yes, as of right now, as of this month, very, very solid character. And if you could get to his node on Mystic 3-9, I highly suggest getting those stars on him because he is a jack of all trades, usable in many, many game modes, guys.
Number 2.
Woo, and it is my girl, Scientist Supreme, once again coming in very high on this free-to-play character list. Ooh, I'm using this character all the time. Like I mentioned with Graviton, using this AIM team a lot more, especially the AIM-Tron team, to punch up against some of these meta war defense teams. She is a very, very valuable, if not the most valuable member of that team. But the reason she gets that nod for me is I am using her in a lot of game modes. War offense, obviously on AIM-Tron, being able to do those punch-ups. Blitz, using her in a normal AIM team and doing some very good work there. Autoing on 8.3 tier in Blitz. And she is on my primary Ultimate 7 team right now, which means I am using her every single day. Very solid kit. Let's go take a look at it. And I am a big, big fan of her kit ever since her rework. Very, very good special here. The main thing I want to point out that she has a 25% chance to revive a ally with 20% of their max health and 30% if they are an AIM ally. So Very, very important in not spending cores in the raids to revive these characters, because she has a quarter chance to do it. This combo, her ultimate and then her special, is the main reason I like her, though. You're getting a little bit of healing, but you're applying 2 to 3 random negative effects to all non-aim allies and all enemies. Very, very important. She's getting extra focus on this attack per aim ally, but yes, applying a lot of debuffs on the enemies. Very, very tricky, and it helps to keep you alive, especially if those debuffs are offense down. All right, and the follow-up to this is her special Field Trials, flipping 4 negative effects into positive effects for all allies. Very, very important, especially in some of these debuff heavy stages in the raids. Heal blocks, they're turning into death proofs. Bleeds, they are turning into regenerations. Good stuff. This was a T4 that I didn't think looked very good on paper, but using this every day in Ultimate 7, it has become one of my favorite moves. This special of hers, very, very good. And then she applies more random negative effects to the primary target as well. So very good for keeping your team alive if these negative effects that she's applying is offense down. And then very good at killing the enemy team if she's applying these death proofs. So very good character. If you are really looking to make a difference in Ultimate 7, I highly suggest investing in her and building up her moves and possibly putting that T4 into her special. She is available very early on Cosmic 2.9, guys.
Number 1.
And surprise, not really though, right? I think as soon as most of you guys knew that Hela was farmable, she would be placing on the top of this list. Only question is there anybody strong enough to knock her off? Because she's getting a lot of usage from me, and she is a very strong kit. Plus, she has Greg. So yes, Hela takes the number 1 spot this month, guys. Very, very solid. She is a character that I just got up to gear tier 14. So she is one character that I will be taking into Dark Dimension 3. And the word on the street is that using Greg, having Greg soak up some damage from the enemies, is going to make her very, very valuable in that game mode. Part of the most meta war defense team, one of the top 3 war defense teams in the game right now. She is a primary backup for my Ultimate 7 squad, so if one of my main characters dies, she is coming in there, and hopefully Greg can soak up some of the damage. She also has a very good ultimate, which we're going to talk about in just a little bit. But I see her on some arena teams as well on defense. I don't use her on offense or defense too much right now, but I do see her on defense a lot. So she is part of that arena meta. And obviously the Asgardians are one of these other teams that can win on fully auto on 8.3 and Blitz. So let's go take a look at her kit. Woo, very, very strong. In addition to Greg and summoning a new Greg every time Greg dies, and Greg is reducing speed bar of the enemies, she also has this very, very strong opening move, her ultimate. She's clearing death proof from all enemies, getting extra focus. She's attacking all enemies, 350% damage, and spreading 4 negative effects from the primary target to all secondary targets. It won't spread stun, but it will spread everything else, even ability blocks. So that Vision Hela combo works very well, and I've heard a Nobu Hela combo works very well, with Nobu bringing Gregs back to life, allowing you to have multiple Gregs on the field. So very solid kit. I love her ultimate. I love her summoning Greg, and she has some assists from Greg on her special. So very, very good. So Hela, very deserving of that number 1 spot in my opinion. But now it's time to let me know who came in at your number 1 spot along with the rest of your top 10, guys. Let me know in the comments who has been the most valuable free-to-play characters or farmable characters, however you want to describe it, for you this month. I am curious to see who is getting a lot of use from you guys. So let me know in the comments, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe to the channel. There are at least 4 Marvel Strike Force videos on this channel per week. So subscribe, share this with your friends, join the notification squad so you get notified every time a new video comes up. And there are some links that support the channel down below. BlueStacks is totally free way for you to play Marvel Strike Force or any other Android game on your PC. So check that link out. There's also some new Valley merch in the store, and some other games. If you want to check out some other games that I'm playing, there's some links for those as well. And I will see you guys next time. Make sure you check me out on social media and give me a Hulk fist bump, baby. ValleyFlyin out.